Good evening, Internet. Shroom here, and tonight I'm heading to the modern format on tGO, and we've got crabs, and that's going to be a big problem for our opponents in our Esper Delney's Crabs brew. What is Delney's Crab? Let's take a look. Our deck is built around this star, Delney Streetwise Lookout. It's a 3-mana 2-2 from Birds of Karlov Manor. Creatures you control with powers 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater, so that's irrelevant to our deck. The relevant ability is if an ability of creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. So it's a Panharmonicon effect for weenies, which doesn't really help us much. But that text also applies to triggered abilities. And what is a triggered ability that you see in Modern? Why, it's the mill ability off of crabs, Hedron Crabs and Ruin Crabs. Now, I tried a Azorious version of this in Pioneer, and really was missing the crabs. So I wanted to try this in Modern because you just get double the number of crabs. And doubling the effect of milling your opponent with crab landfall triggers is pretty amazing. You can end up milling your opponent out pretty fast. So our objective is just to abuse the crabs as much as possible, leverage them strongly, keep them alive, and mill our opponent out with this and the synergy with Delney. So of course we've got our Ruin Crabs, we've got our Hedron Crabs, we've got a Phantasmal Image, which can copy a crab. I really wish I could fit more of those in here, but we got to have some form of interaction. I also have one Wall of Lost Thoughts as just a thing that mills 4 on ETB. The ETB trigger does get doubled by Delney, so that's a thing that is good. Now, of course, we've got our whole array of Field of Ruins, fetch lands, prismatic vistas, to make sure that we get all those landfall triggers a whole bunch of times. The 4 of Field of Ruin can force our opponents to search their library, which can make our archive traps, which we have as a 3 of, free. And as far as other mill pieces go, I think that about does it. Yeah, we got the crabs, we got the Wall of Hope, Phantasmal Image. Oh, we've got Jace the Perfected Mind as a 3 of as well, who for a -2, if our opponent has 20 or more cards, does a Visions of Beyond. Basically, the Jace minuses every time, you know, he mills for 3, draws us a card, and then later in the game can get us those bursts of like huge amounts of card draw to put us over the top. The rest of our deck is interaction and trying to keep our crabs and Delneys alive. So for interaction, we've got some Fading Hope. I like this as a 1-mana interaction. It can bounce a creature. It can bounce our creatures to protect them from removal spells, which is nice to help us keep our crabs alive. I value the tempo of a card like this over the, removal of like Fatal Push, because it can protect our stuff and because it's more important. Tempo is more important, I think, to this deck than like removal power. It's just all we have to do is stay alive long enough for our crabs to mill our opponent out. We've got a couple 3 Drown in the Loch, which is a card you traditionally see in mill. Of course, it's very powerful. It's just a counter spell and a creature removal spell that is fueled by our milling, so of course we want that. A couple of No More Lives is a new card from the set. It's a mana leak that exiles whatever you counter with it, so that's great. We're playing Esper, we're playing white, might as well include a couple of these. It's a very powerful card. And of course, since we're a mill deck, we need to worry about our opponent's graveyard since we're going to be filling it with their library. So we are mainboarding a couple of Surgical Extraction. This is a powerful mainboard piece because it can also hate out cards that are important in our opponent's deck. Like, let's say we're playing against Yawgmoth, for instance, and we manage to mill them with a Ruin Crab and mill over a Yawgmoth. We surgically extract Yawgmoth from their deck. And my experience is that makes it much, much harder for them to win the game. And that can be true of a lot of decks, where if you just extract a critical piece, it makes the game a lot easier for us to win. And then we're running a couple of Unearth, just as a 1-mana sorcery that can return our crabs to the battlefield. It can return Delney to the battlefield. If we don't need it for some reason, we can just cycle it for 2. But being able to resurrect our crabs and Delneys is really awesome because they have giant targets on their head. And then we're playing a total of 23 lands, including 2 Malakir Rebirth, which is just like a 1-mana instant speed, Feign Death. It's something that can bring our creature back if it gets removed at instant speed. It does cost us 2 life, and in general, our mana base is a little painful. We're going to be cutting it close. But being able to like a blanket removal spell effectively and have our crab re-enter the battlefield is great, or our Delney. We are running, as I mentioned, a total of 23 lands, including all the Field of Ruins, a bunch of fetches, 1 Otawara for interaction. We've got our Malakir Rebirths. I'm trying out a couple of Lorien Revealed. This is a very popular card that I actually haven't tried out yet. But I think is just a very good card for this deck. A deck that doesn't really have a lot of ways to draw extra cards. It just seems like a good fit. You know, if I'm flooded in the late game, I can just pay 5 mana and draw 3 cards. So that's great. And I'm also running a set of preordains just as a way to find our crabs and Delneys, you know, get to the cards that we need in our library. The sideboard contains much more graveyard hate, of course. We're filling out the playset of Surgical Extractions. Got a couple of Crypt Incursions, which is good against those decks that have a lot of creatures, can gain us a ton of life. A couple of Fatal Pushes can come in against really aggressive matches for a little bit of extra interaction removal. Since we're playing white, we have access to good sideboard cards like Dovin's Veto against control, like Teferi Time Raveler, which is also good against control. It's good against a lot of stuff. As you know, this card is just kind of busted. Very good against Cascade, just shuts down those Cascade spells. A couple of Doorkeeper Thralls I'm trying out as a Hushbringer effect to quell ETB abilities. It doesn't really hurt us at all. We only have one creature that actually ETBs and does anything, but there's a lot of stuff in Modern that relies heavily on ETB triggers, so I want to have this flash speed Hushbringer effect to try to shut that down. And a couple of Tails End is here against, like, Emrakul, the Eon's Torn. I wanted a Stifle effect because a lot of decks do run, you know, an Eldrazi as sideboard mill hate. So we want to be able to counter that trigger if possible, where they just get to reshuffle their entire library back to their deck, which means that we basically can't win. Peripherally, a Stifle, it seems, is not a modern legal card. So I'm playing Tail's End, which does cost 1 mana extra, but does let us counter legendary spells. So maybe it's good in control too. It can counter like Teferi, Time Raveler. It might be good against Money Pile decks to counter Teferis or Omnaths. So that's the sideboard plan. We're going to keep their graveyard under control. We're going to gain life. We're going to survive long enough in the aggressive matchups to mill our opponents out with our doubled crab triggers off of Delney. So, in testing, you know, I've been losing a lot with various builds of this. I haven't tried this particular build yet. I did some tweaking, but I did win some matches, and it seems fun. Of course, the question is, like, is this a better mill deck than just traditional Dimir control, Dimir mill? And I'm not sure. Probably not as far as like the speed of milling, although on a nut draw, this can mill very, very fast. But the things I like about this deck is that with white, you get access to white cards, which are very extremely powerful, particularly as sideboard cards. And I also like the fact that this deck doesn't really have to do very much in order to mill our opponent out. It doesn't have to resolve a bunch of like, you know, like glimpse the unthinkables and Tasha's hideous laughters. All it really has to do is like stick a couple of crabs, and protect them and like fetch. And the mill adds up surprisingly quick if we have a Delney on the battlefield. We just have to play our crabs, protect our creatures, protect our Delney, which hopefully we'll be able to do with all the spells we have devoted to doing just that, and just mill our opponent out, you know, the old-fashioned way by playing lands. Anyway, that's the plan, so let's get into the matches on the practice queue. And if you want to support me and you like off-meta, off-kilter MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Alright, we're against Bray Bear 1. We're going to be on the draw. And this hand is fine. We've got a Delney, we've got a Preordain to help us find a crab. So we'll keep this. Hey, we found a crab. I think we'll just shock and play our crab. I've never tried out Lorien Revealed, so this is a good experiment. These cards are very popular, these LOTR, like, land cycling cards, and they seem very good, but though you don't really want them in every single deck, I don't think. But this seems like a good match for it. Okay. Is it just blue-white control? Alright, let's go ahead and preordain. Crab Field of Ruin. Those are both pretty good, so I think I want to top both. We'll draw the Ruin Crab here. and we'll play it. Monastery Mentor. Okay, we build double Archmage's Charm. Brimaz. Ooh, okay. Well, they're tapped out, so I think I'll go for Delney here. So now every landfall, our Rune Crab mills 6, and our Hedron Crab mills 4. And we do have a Field of Ruin. Here comes Brimaz. Alright, we can block the 1/1 token and take 3. There's a Monastery Mentor. So they're Azorious Prowess. Alright. Well, let the crabinating begin. They are going to start presenting a clock, but I think we're getting crabby. So we milled a whole lot there. Let's just go ahead and get our Rafine's Tower. I want to always do the same target. They have 16 cards left in their library. Alright, here comes the crew. One, two, three, four, five. They have 4 cards in hand. So this Field of Ruin with the Delney is actually lethal. I guess I'll block the 1/1s. I do have I'm just trying to figure if there's any way we actually lose from here. I'm just gonna block the 1/1s. If they can kill us, they can kill us. I do have an Unearth. Okay. Well, if they can't interact with our crabs... Okay. Delney doubling the crab triggers. Well, okay, that's cool. Game 1, we got to see Delney go off with the crabs. So... they are a control deck, but they're a prowess deck. They were showing Archmage's Charms. So I think I want vetoes for those. And I think I'll go with Fatal Pushes as well. I'll lose an Archive Trap, a Jace, Unearth. They probably don't have like hard removal. They're probably more like they're just so aggro they make you block. I lose a Phantasmal Image. That was some hard crabbing there. We're on the draw. We've got crabs. We got a crab and we got fatal push. So I don't know. We got Lorien revealed. I got to remember that this is essentially a land, so that's a keep. All right, let's shock and play a crab. All right, I think I'll just go with a tap land. Okay, they're playing Blood Moon. Really? They have red mana? Do I want to extract the Blood Moons? I milled 2, so I don't think I do. Considering I milled 2, how many do they actually have in their deck? They scoop? Okay. Maybe they got mana screwed, or I don't know. Anyway, we got to see the crabs really go off game 1, so that's cool. Alright, we're against Veriqua with their Golos avatar. And we're looking at basically a 7-lander, so that's a mulligan. Opponent also mulliganed. This will keep. We've got crabs, we've got an unearth, we've got a counter. I think I'll bottom a plains. Opponent molts a 5. Esper Sentinel. Alright, let's go grab a Watery Grave and play a crab. So, hammer time? Inkmoth Nexus. On the draw against hammer time might be a little rough. Steel Sheeper's Gift. Gonna get the hammer. Alright, it's on the board. That's a little scary. Alright, I think I'm gonna go Prismatic Vista. Sigarda's Aid. I think I want to exile. I want to extract Sigarda's Aid, right? No, I don't think I do. I think I just want to hold up a counterspell. There's a Saga. Another hammer. Okay. Opponent only has one card in hand. Alright, let's go grab something here. Island? Plains? Mill our opponent. Well, we got like 3 Surge of Salvation, so we'll be able to kill their stuff. Archive Trap. I mean, Urza's Saga is pretty threatening. It would be nice to find an answer, like some kind of interaction to deal with those constructs. Alright, I think I'll just fetch a Hallowed Fountain. So if I draw Rafine's Tower now, I can cycle it. I'll be able to play Archive Trap for free when they search with their Urza's Saga. Do I want to go shields down to Jace? Kind of don't think I do. Here comes construct number 1. It's a 4/4. Springleaf Drum. So they opted not to get a construct. Pure Steel Paladin. Well, that we got to counter. We will pay for the Esper Sentinel. Archive Trap. Is there anything I want to extract? I don't think I need to extract anything right now. They don't equip their construct. I'll just take 6. Another Unearth. Alright, well, let's Jace. I should have maybe played it for 3. They get to draw a card off their Esper Sentinel. Well, I get to Visions of Beyond. Draw 3, but don't draw any lands. I didn't draw a single land off that. That's pretty bad. Another Esper Sentinel, okay. They equip the Shadow Spear. Yep. Hopefully they just go after Jace. Sentinel going after Jace. Construct after me. Okay. I'll block the Sentinel because the construct has trample anyway. I'll take 8. Does mean I can't fetch. Hang on. Oh, is it too late to back out? Why can't I back out? Uh oh. Another Jace. So that's game. Mill you for a bunch. Cast another Jace. Sure, you can draw 2 cards. Keep the new one. Mill you for 15. Okay. So, hammer time. Do we want to change anything? Pure Steel Paladin's pretty good against us. Maybe just add Fatal Pushes. I feel like we're pretty good here. Do I need more surgical extractions? Extracting Urza's Saga would certainly be good. Or Colossus Hammer. Probably want all the surgicals. Actually, I don't think I even need the fatal pushes. Let's cut. Let's go up one surgical, and we'll cut a Delney. I would much rather just extract the sagas rather than fatal pushing constructs. Well, we don't have any crabs. We do have double archive trap and drown. Is that good enough? I kind of feel like it's not good enough. Alright, this isn't a great hand either, but it's probably better than what we had. So let's bottom Swamp. Oh, now I wish I kept that double archive trap hand. Really? Arid Mesa? I guess I did see at least one of those in their graveyard last game. Let's preordain. Surgical Crab. I mean, I want both of those cards, so let's draw both of them. Let's mill a Colossus Hammer. Alright, that's a Pure Steel Paladin. Which is bad news. I'm just playing a crab here. There's the Colossus Hammer. Yeah, let's just extract it. They have one in hand. They have Pure Steel, Spell Pierce, Urza's Saga. They've got a Shadow Spear. They've got a Cauldra. Alright, they do have a Saga in hand, but we've got a Field of Ruin. Alright, let's just go get our tower. In response to my fetch, they march my crab. Okay. That's too bad. Crab down. And I draw a Phantasmal Image. Well, I guess we just want to destroy the saga. They shock a hollowed fountain. Another pure steel. I need to find more crabs. Wall of Lost Thoughts. That's not terrible. They have a Spell Pierce plus an unknown card. I can Phantasmal Image it. That's good blockers. I need to draw lands. Springleaf Drum, yeah. Uh-oh, Moto. Alright, there's a land. Let's go ahead and just copy the wall. Millie for 4. Stoneforge, Forge Anew. Forge Anew is a really good card, isn't it? 3 mana enchantment. When it ETBs return target equipment from the graveyard to the battlefield. As long as it's your turn, you may activate equipment anytime you cast an instant. You pay 0 rather than equip the first. Pay the equip cost for the first equipment. Sigurd is aid. Okay. Well, they don't have any hammers anymore, so that's good. March. I think I actually counter this. Since they're tapped out, Let's keep our 0-4s alive. They could have targeted the... They could have targeted the illusion and it just would have died. Spell Pierce? That's an artifact? Oh, this lets you tap creatures. Okay. I thought this was only artifact. Duh. Alright, well, there goes their Spell Pierce. Alright. I think I'll go for a 3-mana Jace. Mill you. Draw a card. Okay. Both attacking Jace. Alright. Let's block one. I think kill the other one. Another Springleaf Drum. That does nothing. Okay. So let's plus on the Pure Steel. I think I'll just hold on to this land for when I draw my next crab. Which, do I do it now or do I wait? I think I'll be greedy and wait. Play a tap land. Alright, so I can Visions of Beyond my Jace next turn. Another Pure Steel. Okay. They tap their Pure Steel to do it. Alright, Jace, hook me up, buddy. Ooh, a Delney. That's Visions of Beyond. Surge of Salvation. Okay. I still draw 3 cards. I don't. Oh, let's play Delney. Alright, I need to draw something. Like Lorien Revealed would be great. Preordain. Another Jace. There's Urza's Saga. A lot of good draws. Do I trade Delney for a Paladin? I think I do. Considering their top decking. Another Jace. Okay. Let's plus here. Let's cast Jace. Keep this one. Let's Visions of Beyond. Alright, there's our crabs. Play a crab. Hey, what's up, Beach Kiki? Yeah, it's the big number there. And let's play a land. Mill you for 2. I have Drown in the Loch available. Arena player, yeah. I actually prefer Arena as a UI in general. But they don't have older formats. And they were going to tap for something big, but they decided against it. They have one. What is your last card in hand? A March. Yeah, I want my crab. Okay, I draw Malakir Rebirth. So I think I want to Visions of Beyond again. Actually, first let's preordain. Delney. I want both of those cards. I don't have a land, but I can island cycle my Lorien. I could unearth Delney, yeah. Do I have one in my graveyard? I do. So I think I'll just grab the Prismatic Vista and bottom the Delney. So let's unearth Delney. Let's play another crab. Mill you for 8. Save targets. I mean, I can just put this on the stack now, right? I don't have another basic land? Uh-oh. Haven't made my land drop for the turn? I have. Alright, well, let's see if they can kill me. I may not have enough basics in my mana base. Oops. I could have Lorien revealed for my Hallowed Fountain. Alright, here comes Urza's Saga. Yep. So their construct is going to be a 5/5 trampler. I can survive that. They have one card in hand, one card in their library. I don't think they can kill me this turn. And they scoop. Sweet. Yet again, Delney and his crabs. Going to work. Alright, we're against Warbear 1020. We're going to be on the play. We've got a preordain. I think we can keep this due to preordain. We do have a counterspell as well. Yeah, we'll need preordain to find us something good, but I think we will keep here. Let's preordain. I think that's a double bottom. And we find a crab. Perfect. Blackcleave Cliffs. Not a good sign. Ether Vial. So the question is, do I play my crab this turn, or do I wait till I have mana to protect it? What is Blackcleave Cliffs Ether Vial? Goblins, most likely? I think I will wait on my crab. I'll just play this tap land. I don't know. I'll play a fetch, because they could have like Goblin Bombardment or something that I want to counter. Alright, they violin something. Oh, it's zombies, champion of the perished. Rakdos zombies. Gravecrawler? Alright. They're definitely Goblin Bombardment. So I think exiling that Gravecrawler will be good. A little painful. There's a Delney. I think I want Delney. So let's go fetch a swamp. Play Delney. They bolt it. There's the Goblin Bombardment. Preordain. Sure, let's preordain. More crabs. And an archive trap? Well, I want another crab. I don't think I need archive trap. Let's play our crab. Let's just play our tap land. We do have Malakir Rebirth we can use to protect our crab if needed. It does cost us 2 life. Dreadhorde Butcher. Oh, I love that card. Alright, I'll block the champion. Alright, we'll Malakir Rebirth the crab. So they sack their carrion feeder to do that. Another ether vial. Okay. Oh, there's Delney. Perfect. Delney. A crab. A fetch land. Mill you for 24. The problem is they're a Gravecrawler deck. And they do have a Gravecrawler. So this kind of loses. It's a losing proposition for us. They can infinitely recur their Gravecrawler. So we need to find a surgical. But I mean, there's no reason not to do this now while my crabs are alive. My opponent knows I'm empty-handed, so Million for another 24. Or what is it? It's 12. So 24 total between the initial fetch line and the fetch. We'll see if I can survive the Gravecrawler. So they can cast it 4 times. They get 4 pings. They can't do Delney plus a crab. They can do a crab, or they can do Delney and 2 to my face. Okay, they're gonna do Delney. Yeah, I don't think I can beat the Gravecrawler. I needed to find a surgical. So this is bad. This is a bad matchup for us game one, for sure. We'll see. The question is, do I block the champion? Probably not this turn. Okay, now they're going face. I think I actually do need to block the champion. Let's see. If I draw exactly Jace, I can win if I plus and draw a fetch land. But I can do that with one crab as well. So let's draw Jace. No, I don't win with Jace, even if I have both crabs. There's a Field of Ruin. Alright, that's gonna be game. Because, yeah, I can mill them for 6. They can continue, they can have enough, they can just keep casting the Gravecrawler, ping down my crab, hit me for 3, grow their champion, and I'm dead. Okay, so we want Crypt Incursion. I think we want Surgical. A Surgical at least. Probably some Fatal Push as well. Cut an Archive Trap. A Delney. No More Lies is good. Cut a Drown in the Loch. Phantasmal Image. I actually like Fading Hope. It's really good against Champion of the Perished. Cut a Preordain. Yeah, this hand's alright. I got Fatal Push. I don't have any Graveyard Hate. No More Lies is good, I guess. I don't know, it's pretty borderline. I have no Graveyard Hate. I think I'm going to keep it. Fatal Push can deal with a Champion of the Parish that gets big. Wall of Lost Thoughts can block a lot of their stuff. Alright, so I'm just going to Island. Thoughtseize. Alright, let's cycle for a Rafine's Tower. Yeah, I don't have a lot going on here. See what they take. Take Fatal Push. Alright, there's a Flooded Strand. I think I'll actually play Flooded Strand. I can counter a Goblin Bombardment if they play it this turn. I can't counter any zombies, unfortunately. Champion. Alright, let's go get our Hallowed Fountain. Let's play Rafine's Tower. Pass. Continue holding up our counter. Which can only counter Goblin Bombardment, cannot counter any zombies. Maybe I should have boarded these out. There's the Gravecrawler. Carrion Feeder, yep. Watery Grave. Let's preordain. Bottom. Crypt Incursion. Well, that requires things being dead in order to be good. So I think I'll just play this tap land. It's looking bad. It's looking very bad. Here comes another zombie. Headless Rider. Okay. Yeah, they're going way too wide. We don't have sweepers or anything. There's my surgical extraction. Dreadhorde Butcher, Champion of the Perished, Gravecrawler. They have a Gravecrawler on the battlefield. I don't know. I guess I just go for it. I gain 9 life. Yeah, I guess so. Why not? Before they can cast it from their graveyard. Whoops. Black, whatever, whatever. Gain 9 life, exile a Gravecrawler. Yep, they have their sack outlet. So, do I surgical that Gravecrawler? Oh, it's too late. It's too late. Give me priority. I need to stop. I need to stop on their end step. Thoughtseize. Sure, let's surgical the Gravecrawler. Their hand is a Carrion Feeder and a Fatal Push. Alright, well, they probably take Unearth because I have nothing else that does anything. I guess I block the 6/6. I don't think we're winning this one. This is a tough matchup for us because they're a deck that goes very wide, which we don't like. It's winnable if we have our graveyard hate piece like early, but we didn't this game, so probably should have mulled aggressively for it. GG's. Zombies gets it. Alright. Jerkles, our opponent, will be on the draw. So here's a hand where I wish that my Lorien Revealed was actually just an island. I think I'm keeping, though. I've got double crabs. Fading Hope is a card finally making an appearance. I would love to top deck an untapped blue source. Oh, Mill versus Mill. Uh-oh. Opponent's on the play and has a good draw so far. Our draw is pretty sketchy. mana-wise. Scheming Symmetry. This is gonna be brutal. Oh, they're gonna archive trap us? Okay. What do I grab? So they're gonna archive trap us, but I'm gonna archive trap them. So it doesn't really matter what I grab, it's gonna get shuffled. I guess if I could pick a card, it's gonna get shuffled no matter what, so it doesn't matter. I think I will Florian Revealed. I don't want to mill my Delney. They can already archive trap me, so this doesn't matter as far as triggering that. I'm gonna grab Hallowed Fountain. I'm gonna archive trap you. So it looks like they're holding up Fatal Push. So I guess I'll play my Lesser Crab, since it's gonna die. More crabs. We're getting out-crabbed at the moment. Visions of Beyond is already online for them. They surgical my surgical? Okay. Well, let's play our crab. Play our lands. Crab you. Archive Trap, Jace, Drown in the Loch, typical stuff, Fatal Push, Visions of Beyond. It looks like a pretty stock build. Well, they're on the play. And my mana is a little awkward, so they're probably going to get us. We have they do have 3 of their archive traps in their graveyard, so maybe they don't have the 4th. Fatal Push. Yep. If we had a blue up, that would have been nice. They probably have kill spells for both our crabs. Yep. Jace. Oh, I don't have double blue. I'll have to pay for Rexian mana, I guess. Blue, 2 life. Hey, I can Visions from Beyond too. I should have waited on playing that Field of Ruin. Fading Hope doesn't do anything. Because the crabs just cost 1 mana, so they just replay him. They have a Jace, which they can just minus to mill me for 15. Okay. So let's go to Fairy. Shut down their instant speed interaction. Dovin's Veto. Fatal Push. Fading Hope is worthless. I'll bring in a 3rd Surgical. Cut a Jace. Cut a Delney. Cut a Phantasmal Image. Just do a little shaving. Archive Trap is actually good because they're actively searching. Is Teferi good? I feel like Teferi is good. They want to cast stuff. They want to do things like Field of Ruin me and make me and Archive Trap me. They want to Archive Trap me on my turn when I'm fetching. 2 more cuts. Cut and unearth. I like the one of wall. I want to keep the Delneys because that's kind of our mirror breaker card. Yeah, what am I extracting with surgical? I'll just leave the 2 main board with copies. Yeah, right. This looks okay. We've got a counterspell. We've got a preordain. It's not great. It sucks if they have a archive trap turn 1. I don't know. This hand doesn't look great, honestly. Maybe I should have mulled for some sideboard cards. Too late. Preordain. I want both of those. Top. They have a crab. So this is a land that lets them, for 1, bounce it back to their hand. Let's play our crab. And a land. Not cracking their fetch. Alright, let's go Field of Ruin. Amelia. They shock a Watery Grave. Fatal Push my crab. I think I'll counter that. Alright, not a fetch land this time, that's good. Another Fatal Push, okay. A crab. Let us play said crab. Play a Field of Ruin. Let's Field of Ruin. No Archive Trap, no Archive Trap. Grab a Swamp. We both get crabbed. Let's unearth Delney. Sure. Let's unearth Delney. They counter. Yep, that's the advantage of Demir. You got the 4 of Drown in the Loch. You have the better mana. You see here that my mana base, running 3 colors with a bunch of Field of Ruins, is punishing me. More crabs. Teferi. I'll go for a Teferi. Also, missing land drops isn't great. There's 25 lands in my deck. Another Drown in the Loch, Spell Pierce. Okay. Okay. Of course, they've milled a bunch of lands too, so they're contributing to my mana screw. Extirpate Teferi. Okay. Also, kept a bad opener. Like, didn't have any sideboard cards. Didn't have any way to interact with crabs. Didn't have good mana. So, they gotta run out of counter eventually. They've got 2 more Drown in the Loch and at least 1 more. Okay, they Archive Trap. So, it looks like we're dead. Need something miraculous. Drown in the Loch. Yeah, our lack of blue mana is really punishing us. Let's just mill you. I don't think we're gonna be. We're at 9 cards in library. They have 30. There goes 5. All right, GG's. They can just pick up that land endlessly and replay it and mill us for 5 each time. So, all right. So we got beat by Demir Mill, which I speculated would be a better build deck as far as strictly milling. And it was, although my keep was a little questionable game 2 for certain. All right, Dark Persona is our opponent. Will be on the draw. And we got Delney. Delney's good, right? I think we'll keep this. There's a crab. Our opponent's Grixis. I think I'll just go Hallowed Fountain and play my... I will play my crab turn 1. They don't kill my crab immediately. That's interesting. They shocked turn 2 and 3. Fable. What are they? Save targets, always yield. Fable can't be allowed. Polluted Delta. Okay. Let's fetch. Watery Grave, I guess. Play Delney. Alright, they're Indomitable Creativity. No, it's like the most busted card in every format. It should be banned from every format. Yep, here comes the Archon. Alright, sack. Guess a crab. Discard. Lorien revealed. Speaking of cards that should be banned from every format, Indomitable Creativity. Alright, let's Fading Hope the Archon. Let's wall. Mill you for 8. Well, we've already got 3 of their creativities. So do we really need to extract? What else could we extract? Fable? They don't have any Fables in their graveyard. Renin 6, there's already 2 in there. Teferi? Leyline binding? There's 3 leyline bindings. I don't know. I don't know what to extract here. I guess I'll attack because I can. They do have 6 cards in hand. Maybe Teferi. Sure, let's extract Teferi. Teferi, Archon, Archon. Okay, they got a bunch of nothing. They got Archons they can't cast. They got a Spell Pierce and a Reprieve. They scoop. Bouncing the Archon was devastating. Okay. So they're Indomitable Creativity. So we want Dovin's Veto. Here's where we want our Thralls. And I think we want a Surgical. Maybe a Teferi or 2. Oh, it's, you know, it's an archetype. Indomitable Creativity. It's kind of like a 1-card combo. You just like play Fable the Mirror Breaker, you play a bunch of mountains, you cheat in Archon of Cruelty, and you win. They are a fetch land deck, so I'll keep in my archive traps. Let's cut some of the usual suspects. Cut and Unearth. Sideboarding's so hard. I like the Fading Hope. Cut the Wall won't work with Doorkeeper. Yeah, that's true. That is the only ETB creature that we have. It won't. It doesn't. It's an Into the Battlefield effect. Just cut. Go down to 2 preordains? No, that's not good. Let's just go with, cut our Unearths. Try to play a more control-y game. Now we got Delney and Drown in the Loch. Although we don't have any way to mill them to fuel the Drown in the Loch. I don't know if this is good enough. It's possible I could get like a Renin 6 with it. I'll keep. I'm on the draw. I believe in my deck. I believe my deck can produce good draws. Okay, Drown. No More Lies is a good draw. Of course, it can't counter turn 2 Renin 6, which is an issue. We don't have a way of dealing with the turn 2 Renin 6, actually. We have an Otawara. That's it. So that's a problem. Or no more lies. So that's an issue with this deck, is on the draw, we don't have a way of dealing with Renin 6, really. They're going to drop a Deduce, sure. Malakir Rebirth. So they could already go for an Archon if I tap out. So I don't think I want to do that. I can't. Can I beat one Archon? Not really. I don't have any answers. So I guess I just gotta stay up. Fable will counter. You can emblem with instant and sorcery cards in your library have retrace. So if I play this land, if I play this crab, I don't have either of my counter spells up. Yeah, here being penalized by my bad mana again, my Field of Ruins. So I think I just play this as a land and pass. I have 8 cards in hand. Yeah, I think this Renin 6 just beats me on its own. So that's something that's gonna have to be corrected. Is I need some way to answer this. Indomitable. Let's go ahead and counter that. So the next one I can't counter, since they only have one card in their graveyard. Surgical Extraction. Now I wish I drowned it and not exiled it. That sucks. Well, let's see. Maybe Delney will hook me up here. Let's play Delney, play a Crab, play a Field of Ruin, Amelia for 6. Oh, there's Indomitable Creativity. Surgical the Creativity. They also have Transmogrify. And they've got a handful, yeah, they've got a bunch of good stuff. Yes, there you go. Get your Archon. I'll sack my Crab, I guess. Discard. Jace? Oh, I should have kept my Crab alive, because Drowned Luck could actually kill the Archon. But now they can just retrace. They can retrace their Transmogrify at will. Fading Hope. Um. Alright, let's bounce this Archon, I guess. Let's see here. I actually can count. I can drown in a lock the Archon on the way back down. So let's go ahead and Fading Hope it. I don't think I can beat the Emblem. The problem is they can just keep Transmogrifying. They have a Fable in hand. They can continue retracing Transmogrify. I think I'll... They only have 2 black sources. I think I'll field their Field of Ruin. So maybe there's a chance they can't hardcast the Archon. Alright, they only have 1 black source. So they can only cheat it out. I still think we're going to lose this, but it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot longer. Transmogrify. Veil of Summer. Okay, sure, whatever. Alright. Red and 6 got us there. Let's go for Teferi. Fatal Push is too narrow. I've already got the Fading Hopes. I've got the Teferis. Let's go for the 4th Surgical. Put on the 2 Delneys. Actually cut a crab. No, I shouldn't cut crabs. Cut one archive trap. Okay, so we got crabs. We've got a Dovin's Veto. So I think this is a good hand. We're on the play. We'll go for our Lesser Crab to start. All right. Let's play crab number 2. Play an island. Save target, always yield. And play crab number 3. I would love to draw a fetch land. No Renin 6 is good. Alright, I think I'm just going to play Malakir Rebirth as a land. We have our Doorkeeper Thrall, which is kind of interesting. We're milling them pretty good. Would I counter a Fable? I think I will. No more lies. That's a good draw. Alright, let's island cycle. For a Rafine's Tower. Play it. $25 cards left in their library. Another Fable. Counter that as well. Preordain. Surgical Drown in the Loch. I really just want lands. But I guess I'll take a Drown in the Loch. Hard to pass a counter spell. Creativity. Counter. Veil of Summer. Ooh, okay. That sucks. I could have let that resolve and then played my Thrall. Oh. Blue, so I can't cast blue spells anymore. Alright, I just need to draw lands. Crab, which I can't cast. So Doorkeeper wouldn't have made a difference there, actually. I guess I should have kept my surgical and surgical indomitable creativity. Fable, yeah. Hey, what's up, Jenkins? Stop. So I'm dead in 3 turns. In 2021, really? Cool. Well, thanks. So this is a mill for 7. You used to stream in 2021. You stopped streaming, though. Veil of Summer. Gain hexproof from blue and black. Wow. Jeez, they got the veils out the wazoo. That's brutal. Okay. Well, I haven't cast any blue or black spells, so they didn't get to draw a card at least. Drop a deduce. Let's do some blocking. They just pass. Drown in the lock, which I can't cast. Alright, well, we sure have whiffed in the home stretch here. If we'd drawn a couple of lands in a row, we could have milled them out, but a bunch of cards we can't cast instead. Well, we'll flash in our blocker. Opponent. Fetch land. Yeah, we needed this several turns ago. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, is this enough? This is enough. Wow. I think we actually got it. I believe that's 14 mil. So our little flash flyer coming in for the chump block. If they have another Veil of Summer. Oh, man. Yep. Another Veil of Summer. Alright. So we lose. We mill him down to 3. Opponent's just taking forever, but we lost this game. We'll get them down to 3 cards, then the Veil will trigger. and then the rest of the mill won't happen. So GG's. Yeah, I mean, they had triple Veil of Summer. That is a hard card to beat. There's a reason why that is such a good sideboard card. But we came awfully close to beating, Indomitable Creativity, which is a horribly busted combo deck. But GG's. We got one game. So, Esper Delney's Crab Mill in Modern. Our record was 2-3, finally. Really close match there at the very end against Indomitable Creativity. If they didn't have exactly 3 Veils of Summers, we would have got them. If we would have found a fetch land a couple turns before we did at the very end, we would have got them. Still very close. And I think the deck is fun. We did have a mirror match which we lost against Demir Mill, which just goes to show probably as far as like milling goes, this isn't a better deck than Demir Mill. The strength of it lies in the fact that it has access to white cards. One thing about this deck is the mana base is off. I don't think you can run 4 Field of Ruins in a deck like this that is very color intensive. You want to get those. Of course, fetch land triggers to set off your crabs, but 4 Field of Ruin is just too much. Probably I would go down to 2 Field of Ruin and include additional fetch lands or prismatic vistas. And that probably means that I would end up cutting one of the archive traps as well. I think when you're only 2 colors, you can afford to go all in on like 4 archive traps, 4 fields. But in a 3-color deck, you can't really lean into it as heavily. I think it needs better ways of dealing with really threatening 2 and 3 drops on the draw. There's that new 2 mana instant speed destroy target creature or planeswalker of mana value 3 or less from Murders of Karlov Manor. I forget the name of it right now. I'll put it in the vid here. That would be a good sideboard choice over one or maybe possibly both of the fatal pushes. I think we don't need that much removal. We're tempoed. We're trying to race our opponent. We're trying to mill them out before they can kill us with damage. We've got good interaction in the main board. I don't think we need to add too much that's narrowly focused on like 1-drop creatures in this side. I think we can rely on our main board and our ability to we can actually just block with our crabs, and if they die, we can unearth them or Malakir Rebirth them. So we do have the ability to protect ourselves to a degree in combat, hopefully long enough to mill out with all of the crab effects. So those are 2 changes that are clearly need to happen to the deck. Like, you could always have like Thoughtseize in any black deck. It just makes like the deck more sort of universally effective to have some Thoughtseize in the main or the side. But I'm happy with the deck. I thought it was really fun. We got to see Delney really go off with crabs in a couple of the matches. Like our very first match, if you can get Delney and crabs on the board and protect them and just start fetching, it is ridiculous how many cards you can mill. I think it's better than like anything you can do in just straight up Demir Mill. And I think Delney is just an interesting card to build around in Pioneer and Modern. There's other ways to abuse this creature, undoubtedly, besides just using crabs and milling. It doubles any kind of landfall trigger on your small guys. So, I mean, just in Modern, for instance, it doubles triggers of Esper Sentinels, it doubles Snapcaster Mages, it doubles like Reflector Mages. It could go in a Naya deck that's like very aggressive. There's like plenty of Naya creatures that get buffed to power and toughness when there's a landfall. Just doubling those effects could be clutch. So I feel like Delney is actually a card that has greater potential that I might try to exploit again in some other capacity now that I've done the mill thing with it. But I think the mill thing is pretty good. And we did manage to win some matches. I think we could have done a little better with some slight tweaks and perhaps some better play. But anyway, that's going to do it for this installment of Esper Delney's Crab's Mill. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like off-meta, off-kilter MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Hope to see you in the next MTG vid. Peace out.